On October evening in 1997, a vault supervisor at the Loomis Fargo Armored Truck Company sends his trainee home early after an exhausting first day. After the trainee leaves, the supervisor walks the building alone. He goes into his manager's office and takes 2 security tapes. Then, he backs up a truck to the vault entrance. For over an hour, he loads bricks upon bricks of cash, 2,700 pounds of it, onto the truck. When the suspension sags, he closes the door and drives off with $17.3 million. An hourly wage worker just committed one of the biggest cash robberies in U.S. history.
Welcome to Heist Club, where we've got a new heist story coming at you each week. We're here to uncover the details behind some of the most audacious and ridiculous robberies of all time. How they pulled it off, how they got caught, and the mysteries that remain. Bank heists, art heists, diamond heists, and other capers you won't believe. I'm Jesse.
And I'm Todd.
Welcome to the club.
Jesse, have I told you lately that I love you?
Whoa. I mean, you text me every day, but I didn't know that was public.
143, 143. I mean, it just feels like the appropriate time to say those words out loud. We don't say them enough to each other, or to anyone in our lives, probably.
Well, fine. I love you too. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy early Valentine's Day to you as well. It's almost Valentine's Day, and here at Heist Club, we're showing you what not to do to earn the affections of your sweetheart. And I don't mean Jesse and I saying I love you to each other. I mean today's heist. Or maybe you do this, just don't get caught. Maybe it would work out. It's a little iffy. Well, the story, the mystery remains.
Yeah.
Although it is good to keep some mystery alive in your relationship. Isn't that right, Jesse?
That's right. I don't tell my wife anything.
That's a lot of mystery. Is that too much mystery? What's the right amount of mystery to keep alive in a relationship? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think anyone knows.
Your wife doesn't even know your middle name.
No.
I don't know your middle name either.
And you never will. Because if I told you I'd have to kill you, I don't know.
It got dark really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, luckily there's no killing in this one, but there's thieving for love, if you would. Which takes us to the late 90s in Charlotte, North Carolina, one of the East Coast fastest growing banking centers. Just west of Charlotte is Gaston County, a vast stretch of rural land, mountains, trailer parks, and the Guinness World Record holder of the world's shortest main street, which was something our producer told us before. And I had to is that a saying? No, it's literally the Guinness World Record holder. So I don't know how long actually, but not long.
Can't be long.
Can't be long.
I'm just imagining a dead end.
Yeah. Basically an alley. Our main street is this alley.
Yeah.
Some version of that. And in Gaston County, 20% of its residents live below the poverty line, and a local business park houses an inconspicuous one-story brick building. Today, it's a Dish Network warehouse. Dish Network still exists. But nearly 30 years ago, it held ATMs, armored trucks, and millions of dollars in cash. The Loomis Armored Truck Company is as old as the Pony Express of the Old West. But in 1997, Wells Fargo purchased the company and renamed it the Loomis Fargo Truck Company. And I would say, just to go back to the building for a second, we have seen this before, right? We've seen cash depots before where you would have no idea there's millions of dollars inside. And then we've also seen cash depots where there's a giant glass pyramid on top and drawing a little bit more attention to it. So this falls into the inconspicuous, that could be anything. Nobody really knows, but the employees know, which I'm giving it away. Another inside job, another cash depot inside job. Tale as old as time.
Now I'm just thinking about the inconspicuous building down the street from me. What is that?
Oh, yeah. That's right. You still have that, right? This is the ongoing mystery at Heist Club. It has been mentioned before. Jesse is mentioning again. I still think it might be a private club or people smoke cigars in there, but it could be a cash depot or something else, Jesse.
I don't know. I don't know what the business is. I feel like it's a front for something because it doesn't seem like they do any business, even though they have a little parking lot and a gate.
Oh, yeah. The gate is definitely a sign.
It's something.
Have you knocked on the front door yet?
No.
With a gun. Maybe don't do that. Maybe don't do that. Just leave it be.
Hey, what is this place?
Yeah. Hey, who's in there? Just knocking with a gun. I'm not using it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Back to Loomis Fargo Truck Company. The employees there are dependable, hardworking folks like 20-year-old David Gant. We have a picture of David here. He's got a little mustache going on, some red hair. I don't know what else to say about him.
Skinny looking dude.
Well, Mr. Gantz, David, has worked at Loomis for the past 3 years as an armored truck driver and was just recently promoted to vault supervisor. A local boy, a Gulf War veteran. He has a wife and a couple of kids. Clocks in, does his job, and leaves. Just a run-of-the-mill employee. No dings on his record. Overall, pleasant to work with. But making only $8.15 an hour. He could barely keep up with the bills, even after pulling 70 and 80-hour weeks. Those are intense weeks. And he also has extensive credit card debt. He's racked up, which really proves that he's not making enough. He's just not going to be able to pay off that debt. So he's miserable, despite that little smile in that picture. He feels stagnant in life, resents his marriage, can't provide for his children. Basically, nothing can go right for him. And then Kelly Campbell starts working at Loomis. Picture of Kelly, not to give anything away, looks like a mugshot. It's black and white. This is a very 90s haircut. Or maybe it's cool again today. I don't know. Things come back, right?
Yeah. Party in the back.
Yeah. No smile here. She is staring. She is a little bewildered, unhappy. Are you emulating her? Jesse, you trying to give that look? There it is. Jesse, he does a mean Kelly Campbell. I'm not sure how many Kelly Campbell impressions you've seen in your life, but Jesse does one of the best.
Yeah, I only do a few impressions. Robert De Niro, Kelly Campbell. That's about it.
All the hits.
All the hits.
So Kelly, she starts, and David is immediately infatuated. Cartoon heart eyes 24/7, and almost 24/7. He's working 80-hour weeks. She's an armored truck driver, too, so David gets to spend a lot of time with his new work crush. They strike up a friendship. Kelly even sneaks him some of her weed. It's very nice of her. They bond over something all coworkers bond over. Weed. No, something else. Complaining about their jobs. The weed and the complaining about their jobs. And nothing brings people closer together than a common enemy, which is their bosses and, the work itself. They don't make enough to get by while having to spend hours and hours around millions of dollars, too. That's hard. You're making $8.15 an hour, and you're literally seeing millions of dollars being moved in and out of the depot every day.
Yeah, how can you not have crazy ideas like that? That's pretty
literally
wild.
Teasing. They're basically begging you to steal things. And apparently, fresh cash has a strong, inky scent, according to them, and it haunts David wherever he goes. I'm not sure I knew that, but I believe him. And to David's glee, they start meeting outside of work. Nothing makes him happier than their after-work smoke sessions in his truck. I think it's the cigarette smoking, not the weed. I could be wrong. Maybe it's both.
Let's say both.
Maybe it's both. One leads to the other. While venting about their crappy jobs and stressful family lives, because we didn't mention Kelly was married with kids too, they start a running joke fantasy. Joke, fantasy, whatever you want to, at that point it's a joke, but wouldn't it be awesome to rob Loomis? They wouldn't have to worry about money ever again if they get away with it. And David remarks on his mindset at the time, I didn't even have a real home life because I was never there. I was working all the time and unhappy. I felt cornered, and one day the joking in the break room about robbing the place suddenly didn't seem so far-fetched. So the joke is becoming reality, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
We will see.
Kelly leaves Loomis in 1996 to take care of her 2 children while her husband works, but David keeps carrying a torch for her. They still have their meetups, just less frequent, but David is determined to keep the relationship alive. Kelly is very shy with her affections. However, David doesn't mind. He will happily accept any crumb of attention he can get. But then David makes a mistake at work. He has a lapse in judgment and accidentally leaves a wad of cash out in the open. This mistake almost cost him his job. To make matters worse, he learns that it will take him 30 years to pay off his credit card debt.
That's a hole. That's a hole to be in. It's also probably 30 years at that point. So if you keep spending on his credit cards, you imagine it'll take even longer. Basically, your whole life is just trying to pay off that credit card debt. That's awful.
Yeah. In March of 1997, David hears about a Loomis truck getting robbed down in Florida of $18.8 million. And the suspect hadn't even been caught at the time. And David thinks, if this guy can get away with it, then so can he. As he mulls this thought over in his head, David realizes some major flaws in Loomis Fargo's system. Like, for one, he's oftentimes alone with millions of dollars in cash. And not just alone in the vault room, he's sometimes the only soul in the building. This is courtesy of Loomis Fargo not wanting to staff enough employees to maintain tight security.
They are cheap. I mean, I know that millions of dollars is not all their money, it's their job to move it around and everything, but they're barely paying him. and they basically won't pay for security.
Yeah, I feel like you might want to pay that guy a lot of money so he's not so envious of all the cash he has to deal with.
You have a good reason to keep your employees happy here. A really good reason.
Right. Yeah. And as a vault supervisor, he has keys to virtually everywhere in the building. He spends his days with a comically large key ring clasped to his belt, carrying 200 keys.
Wow.
That's a lot of doors. Just imagine trying to rob a bank, but you have to go through 200 doors.
Oh, it's very common.
Oh, no, it's another one. It's another one. He, of course, tells Kelly during their smoke sessions, and she's plenty eager to listen. David's not the only one in their little duo with financial woes. Kelly's husband can barely take care of their family on a landscaper and dog trainer's salary. They've racked up plenty of debt, and Kelly resents the fact that she cannot provide a fun childhood for their kids. She can't afford a new car, let alone name-brand toys. Kelly knows the phrase money can't buy happiness, but she believes this is a load of BS. Not having any money is the cause of her misery. While David is more than a bit uneasy about robbing their employer, Kelly has a strong enough spine for the both of them. She lays it on thick. With all that money, they can start a new life together. It could be them against the world, on a beach, sipping Mai Tais. And that image looks heavenly to David. She starts convincing him to invite her high school pal, Steve Chambers, in on the plan. Unlike David and Kelly, Steve has a rap sheet and can be their expert on crime. He claims to have ties to the mob. He was also once an FBI informant, so he may have some tricks to dodge the law. That sounds like quite a story. Dave is a bit reluctant to let a third person in on their plan, but having an expert is a good idea. And if Kelly wants Steve, then so does David, because he's in love with Kelly Campbell. The planning takes months, but it is a rather simple one. David will wait to be alone in the building, load the truck full of money, and meet Kelly and Steve across town. They will have a rental van full of empty barrels to store the cash, rented under a fake name, of course. With the cash stored away, they will lay low for a couple of years for the heat to die down. A couple of years?
I mean, honestly, that's a great plan if anyone ever actually pulled that off, as we know from other people who are like, no, just lay low for a while. And then, a day later, they've already betrayed that plan. So Good for them if they could do it, but they need their money now,
Good for
they?
them. Yeah, I just can't imagine. I don't think I could do that.
3 decades later, we will finally start spending the money. It's like, oh, great plan. Yeah, but...
Yeah, exactly. Just sitting on $1 million, living out of a trailer secretly. David also studies many prominent FBI investigations and discovers a pattern. In every investigation, the FBI creates a bubble around the area of the crime. And if you're outside of that bubble, you have more time to slip away. He plans going far outside the bubble for his new life with Kelly to work out. David keeps his wife Tammy in the dark about his plans. While David does his homework, Kelly and Steve make their own plans. With everyone's roles in place, David just has to wait for a day he's closing by himself. And that day is October 4th, 1997. As he kisses his wife goodbye, he's struck with the realization that he will never see her or their children again. It's pretty depressing.
He's just realizing that now. He never thought about that, right? I guess he's so blinded by his love for Kelly that, he basically says he sees more of her than he does his own family, too.
Yeah. What a jerk.
Not the husband of the year, not the dad of the year, but we'll see if he's the thief of the year. I just can't imagine
be like, see you later, kids. I had a date with Kelly, my coworker. It's just so flippant and weird to me.
It's both of those things.
While David drives to work, he turns on the radio only to hear the song Take the Money and Run. Perfect way to set the mood.
Take the money and run. If we can clear it.
We can't sing it. We legally can't sing it. All right, now we got to sing a different song. Take the money and run. Is that good?
Take the money and run, run. It was a kid's song.
We all know Take the Money and Run by Devo. Take the money.
Take that money.
All right, when he gets to work, he leaves his wedding ring in his truck. He walks in and sees an unfamiliar face waiting for him at the door. He introduced himself as David's trainee for the day. Hi, I'm David's trainee for the day. You're David?
My name is David's trainee for the day. Oh, that's funny. I'm David.
How is David going to manage a heist with a newbie breathing down his neck? That is pretty stressful. Think, David, think. He only needs to be alone at the end of the shift, so he'll make sure the trainee will make himself scarce by the end of the night. Scram!
Bye, David's trainee for the day. Get out of here, David's trainee for the day.
Hey, David's trainee for the day. Get out of here, David's trainee for the
Can
day.
you stop calling me that? I have a name.
My name's Bill. He works a normal day, has lunch with his coworkers, and works his trainee ragged. David covers every inch of this facility with his trainee and finds any minuscule task for him to do. Kelly calls him during the day, both for encouragement and checking that he's not chickening out. By the end of the day, the trainee is more than happy to bail while David closes by himself. Crisis averted. Oh, the trainee's name was Crisis.
Now we know.
So dumb. Okay. David circles the building a few times, confirming he is alone. He pauses for a moment because he knows that if I steal $1, I have to steal them all. I guess. I think he'll be more in trouble.
It's not
if you
exactly
steal
how
them.
it works. You actually can just steal $1 or $1 million,
Yeah.
to
I don't
steal
think
it
you
all.
would serve a long time for that.
This is the Lord of the Rings approach. You must steal them all. One ring to rule them
right.
all.
He decides to steal them all. He enters the manager's office and takes 2 security tapes. He backs a Loomis armored van up to the vault and gets started. For an hour and a half, he loads bundle after bundle of cash into the van. Kelly pages him several times with a code 143, meaning I love you.
Oh, I remember pagers. I never had a pager. Did you have a pager?
No, I did not.
I had friends who had pagers. 143. It happened. We saw it. It was a real thing that happened.
She calls him a few times too, urging him to go faster. She sounds kind of rude
She is
now.
hard, yeah. Are you chickening out? I'm
you
checking
done
on your
yet?
chickening.
Are you
And by the
actually doing
way,
this? You
chicken,
better actually be
don't
doing this.
chicken out faster. If you're not chickening out, do
How
that.
is it taking you 90 minutes to move some money? Do you know how light a dollar bill is? I could do it in 20 minutes.
I can remember many heists we've done where it was just one person doing it too. There usually is a team. This is a rare case of a solo job. I mean, like, it's a trio, but 2 of them are just literally waiting for David to actually do it.
Yeah. He ends up with a combination of 100s, 20s, 10s, and even some $1 bills, adding up to $17.3 million. Before he drives off, he takes all the vault keys, all 200, and sets a timer lock so no one can access the vault for 3 days.
Clever. That's good.
That's pretty good. After covering his tracks, David drives across town. He calls it the best drive of his life.
He's listening to Devo. More Devo on the radio.
Yeah. Take the money and run. The high is tainted by a heart-stopping moment where he drives past a parked police car. His hands were shaking so hard he couldn't light a cigarette to calm down. But he makes it to the parking lot of a printing business where Kelly and Steve wait in the rental van. However, David quickly spots others with them. Steve tells him they're with him and will help with the loadout. This was not a part of David's plan. Was he being double-crossed? Find out after the break.
We're back, lovebirds. Once David arrives at the meeting spot, he sees more than just Kelly and Steve at the van. He's extremely put off by the change in plan, but he also can't fail Kelly, even though she was forcing him to go faster and faster as he was stealing all the money. Nope, his love is never ending. There's no turning back now, so he begrudgingly hands the keys, all 200 of them, as we said, to Steve and his pals. Kelly takes David to her car after he grabs some cash. After they leave, Steve immediately forgets which key on the 8-inch 200 key ring opens the truck. That was highly predictable.
Yeah.
You think he would have marked it, I hope he marked it. Otherwise, you just imagine like 199 keys dangling to the bottom and David's just holding one saying, it's this one. Don't forget this one.
I know. I'm just imagining him like dropping it and be like, oh, I don't know which one it was.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
That's so funny.
So while David and Kelly ride the high of pulling off a multi-million-dollar heist, the guys at the van panic. They even resort to throwing rocks at the windows. These idiots. What are you doing? It was bulletproof glass, but, rocks might work.
Yeah.
Eventually, they find the right key. I don't know if they tried all 200 of them and eventually got it right, or he remembered something, or whatever it is, but they did find the right key, and the rocks did not work, surprisingly. While loading the barrel, Steve runs into a problem. David stole too much money. The van is bursting at the seams. And the sheer weight of the cash is disabling too. 2,700 pounds is reaching the van's weight limit. Not shocked there. So when the van and barrels are stuffed full, Steve and company drive the armored van to the woods and leave it there, along with $3.3 million still inside. Remember that we said David was married? Since David never actually bothered to tell his wife Tammy about the heist, or his crush on his former coworker, of course, she fears the worst when he doesn't come home by the next morning and reports him missing. Meanwhile, the police are already at Loomis, Fargo, dealing with a locked safe and what is most likely a robbery. They don't know for sure because they can't get in. And the police investigating David's disappearance locate his car in the parking lot. So investigators put two and two together fairly quickly, quite easily. David stole 2 tapes, but there was a third he forgot about altogether. So that's a boneheaded move, David. Yeah, maybe he just never knew. I mean, he knew things so well there. Maybe there was one in a place that the employees didn't know about, or he was just in a rush and forgot. I don't know which one it was.
Yeah.
So,
man.
Yeah, sorry, David. So police sit and they watch the entire heist unfold not even 24 hours later. That makes their jobs a lot easier, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We have some grainy footage, black and white. Camera 8, apparently. That's the source of this videotape that he forgot to take. And the room looks like a mess. There's just like money everywhere. It's really stuffed too. It's a really packed room, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense that it took him 90 minutes to do this.
With Loomis employee David Gant missing, along with millions of dollars and footage of someone who looks just like him robbing the place, police are pretty sure they have their number one suspect. So he has just served up this case on a silver platter.
Pretty sure.
This is
I think this guy stole our money because it looks like he's stealing our money.
Yeah. It could be the guy that stole it in the picture who looks just like Yeah. One problem, no one knows where he is, not even the FBI. 2 days after the heist, a man cutting his grass finds the Loomis van dumped in the woods and calls it in. Thinking that David used a rental car to move the money, the FBI tries rental car companies, but no name matches David Gant. So good job for them using a fake name there. And to make matters worse, there was a NASCAR race that weekend and thousands of out-of-towners had come in, flooding rental car companies. Now, I would like to give Steve and David and Kelly credit that they knew that, right?
Right, yeah. In my mind, like, oh, this is a brilliant time to do it, but I don't know.
Right, they chose that weekend of all weekends because they knew people would be renting cars and it would be hard to find them. Or maybe they just got lucky. I don't know. So, where is David? While Steve goes straight home the night of the heist, Kelly takes David to the airport for his flight to Mexico. But she's not running away with him just yet. She tells him she has to keep up appearances with her family first. When he arrives at the airport, he finds out that it had already closed for the night. So he boards a bus to Atlanta and catches a flight. So they didn't plan this part that well. He does not have the ticket already. He doesn't know what time the airport closes. Also, the airport closes. What time is it? I don't know what time it is.
Wow. Yeah, you can't book a flight. That's great.
I mean, they really didn't plan ahead, or he didn't know. I mean, he also thought Kelly was coming with him, and he is finding out in that moment that she's not. So
yeah.
They planned the heist. They did not plan the getaway. We have seen that countless times.
You're right. You got to think it all out, man. I don't understand. Why do it at all if you only have half an idea? Like, you know?
Yeah. Why bring Steve in to help if you can't actually help you plan it, the getaway?
Yeah.
You
I'll
know?
just go to the airport. Vaguely airport. Yeah. Really strange.
I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. So David's now in Atlanta, and he cannot find a direct flight to Mexico. He has to have a layover in New Orleans. While waiting around the terminal, a woman approaches him. This is it. He thinks he's been made. Actually, she mistook him for Boris Becker, the German tennis player. We have a side-by-side of them. I mean, they're both redheads.
Weird. I guess I could see it.
Mini heart attack over. He finally boards his flight out of the country. Despite not planning ahead enough to see the airport's operating hours, he does know that he's only allowed to bring $50,000 in cash across the border. So he did plan that. He's an amateur thief, not a world-class smuggler, but he trusts Steve and Kelly to send over more money later. It's a lot of trust to put in them. But He's got the power of love, right?
Power of love.
Another song we can't clear, so please give us the Devo version of Power of Love and not the Huey Lewis and the News version.
Power of love.
Power of love. He checks into it.
I've clearly only heard one Devo song.
Yeah. You gotta watch the Devo doc, Jesse. There's a lot more you can learn about them, okay? A lot more songs to discover.
Okay.
David checks into a touristy hotel in Cozumel under the name James T. Kelly and eagerly waits for Kelly to join him. Not his last name, Kelly, but his love, Kelly.
That's probably why he made the name.
That's right.
It must be named after my true love.
James T. Kelly.
The T stands for true.
Aw, True Love Kelly. James True Love Kelly.
True Love Kelly.
That's right. But he might have to hide longer than he thinks, because on October 11th, America's Most Wanted airs the Loomis Fargo robbery as a top story. So this is hitting the news in a big way very quickly. David's wife even makes an appearance with a plea for her husband to come home. She said, "Please, if there's any way possible, call us or the FBI and let us know you are alive and well. And remember, David, no matter what, we do love you." This poor woman. She has no idea what's going on.
No.
Well, she felt the love even though he clearly didn't. She believes that he has been forced to rob Loomis Fargo and is being held hostage somewhere.
I mean, good guess.
Yeah.
I can't imagine being him on the hotel bed watching this.
Yeah, that's got to be really
It's like,
surreal, right?
Oh, whoopsie. It's pretty scary.
And he's like, "Oh, they still love me? And even though I barely see them and I just left them for good?" Well,
Yeah, you're just like sitting in a hotel in Mexico. That's really funny to me.
waiting for Kelly to come. Yeah. So despite the heist garnering national attention and David providing a perfect example of laying low, everyone else does the opposite of laying low. 2 days after the heist, Steve's wife, Michelle, goes to the bank and asks the teller how much she could deposit without them reporting it to the feds. She's good.
Wow.
Michelle is a seasoned criminal.
You think you should ask the teller that? I mean, I don't know what Google was like in 1997, but come on. Yeah, that's insane.
I think it was Jeeves. I think she would have had to ask Jeeves in 1997.
Ask Jeeves, man, not the teller.
Jeeves would know that.
Jeeves would know.
Jeeves knew enough to know that. So
Ask the dog pile. Come on.
she learns there's a $10,000 limit, so she deposits $9,500. Well done, Michelle.
Wow.
Evaded
So
the
smart.
feds for now.
Yeah.
Steve and Michelle have a blast with a sudden influx of cash and spent like there's no tomorrow. And we're talking big purchases. On top of paying their little helpers, a few weeks after the heist, they traded their double-wide trailer home for a $635,000, 7,000 square foot mansion in a gated community with a country club. It has a marble foyer, wet bar, wine cellar, and a sunken master suite with a fireplace and a jacuzzi. They are living it up. We have a picture. It is a large home. That is a large, large home.
Yep. Yeah, I can't believe they did this. And it keeps going. They put $10,000 up front, all in $20 bills, $400,000 in cash, and $225,000 in finance payments. The mortgage definitely lowers suspicion.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Really smart about that.
really smart. When they move in, Steve buys the movers lunch and tips them $50 each, which is generous as the movers barely have to do any work. The stuff from their trailer doesn't even fill half the truck. But it is very important they keep those barrels safe. Oh, that's just dog food.
Whoa.
Sure.
That's a lot of dog food. Do they even own a dog?
We have a dog food bulk business.
Yes.
Don't question it. Don't look at it. Don't look at
We're
it.
going to buy many dogs soon, and we are preparing because we are a growing family.
We must feed 50 dogs in the near future. Steve and Michelle quickly furnish the house with custom cabinets, a pool table, tanning beds, and a wrought iron fence around the property. Michelle drapes the massive staircase with a leopard print runner.
Classy.
I'm imagining this all in the late 90s, and it checks out.
Yep, I buy it.
It's really funny. It reminds me of that when they did that show about Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee and like how they lived in the 90s. And it was just really, I can imagine that kind of decor. And I bet they wanted to be them, honestly.
I'm sure they did.
Yeah. When the neighbors try to meet them, they act standoffish, giving different cover stories as to what they do. He's a former football player. No, he's a casino owner. No, they got lucky at the casino. No, he's got a massive inheritance. They decline all invitations for their kids to have play dates.
Just a reminder, he's the seasoned criminal. He's the one they brought in to help them get away with everything, and he is a terrible liar. They're terrible. Just stick to one story. I mean, how hard is that to do?
Or like limit all the stuff you're buying, dude.
Well, that too. That too. Yes, that's also a thing, Jesse. You're right. Yes.
In addition to the McMansion and its furnishings, Steve and Michelle buy all sorts of new toys, TVs, cars, Rolexes, and a $43,000 diamond ring. We have a picture of Michelle's new 1998 BMW convertible.
It's a big garage it's in, too. I mean, this is...
Oh, yeah. They also buy a painting of Elvis on velvet. Velvet Elvis paintings were very popular back then.
Are they not popular anymore? I just assume they're still popular. Velvet Elvis, Velvet.
Velvet Elvis. And they also have a painting of a bulldog dressed as General George Patton.
Of course.
Of course.
As
Who
one
doesn't?
does in the 90s.
Yeah. They swiftly purchase and immediately ruin $20,000 worth of cigars because they don't know how to properly store them. Great. And bags upon bags of candy. Now they're just acting like 4-year-olds.
They are definitely nouveau riche. They are nouveau rich, you know? They do not know how to properly purchase anything.
I don't get it. Michelle frequents boutiques, bragging to the sales staff that her husband owns casinos in Atlantic City. On one of her trips, she buys a $480 leopard print velvet and silk throw. Steve buys her a new nose and new breasts. He also pays for his sister's breast implants.
Oh, that's generous and weird.
For their daughter's 7th birthday.
Don't say new breasts for his daughter, please. She's only 7.
Well, I was going to make the joke, but you made it for me.
Okay,
Thank you.
sorry.
So we can move on.
But at least we were both on the same wavelength, for better or for worse. I don't know if either of us should make that joke.
7. Steve hires a white stretch limousine to pick up her and her friends to take them to a steakhouse.
Every 7-year-old's favorite place, a steakhouse.
Yeah, we love steak and we understand the concept of limousines. Every single purchase is made in cash. In late October, Steve and Michelle recruit their married friends Eric and Amy Payne to help hide, paying them $100,000. Steve and Michelle also treat the Paynes to a trip to New York where they blow thousands of dollars over the 3-week bender. And of course, they flew first class.
I'm guessing that bender was mostly candy. They spent a lot of candy while they were in New York. The M&M store.
Sounds like they're acting like children. It makes sense. They
really are. By the way, where are their children? While they're in New York City for 3 weeks, are their kids with them? The kids are hanging out with the fake dogs.
They also get additional family members and friends to rent out safe deposit boxes for the money. Everyone gets payment for helping as well.
This is just, are you supposed to keep it? This started as just Kelly and David. Then they brought Steven, then Michelle. It's growing by the dozens. The more and more people you tell, the less and less likely you're going to get away with it. I mean, they're doing everything wrong. So, this is just one more, rock on the pile.
I just think it's insanely stupid.
It is.
Wouldn't you want to chill for a second? I would be terrified of every purchase I made.
Jesse, reminder, they were going to lay low for a couple of years. Remember the plan was to lay low for a couple of years, and here we are. Look what they're actually doing.
Even if you bought a mansion, you could lay low in the mansion. You
have
stop
a mansion
going
now.
outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Order Uber Eats. Don't talk to anybody. Stop buying furs and cars. And just handing all your friends money for almost no reason. It's just pretty insane.
It's insane.
And then a different shift, they buy a discount furniture store, also in cash, and rename it M&S Furniture Gallery. They renovate the space with new walls, floor, and bathroom. They were horrible business owners.
Shocking.
Pricing pieces incorrectly and mistreating their employees. Oof. Great. I'm so mad at these guys for some reason. Steve is also interested in buying a bar and hiring former Marine Mike McKinney as a bodyguard. He would pay him a handsome $400 a week and provide housing much better than the hotel he had been living out of. After a while, really just a couple of months, Michelle grows tired of her small bank deposits and goes to the bank with $200,000 in a briefcase. She reassures the teller it's not drug money. She also forgets to remove the Loomis Fargo wrappers. More on that after the break.
Welcome back. You've had a few moments, and so has Jesse, to calm down our anger over Steve and Michelle's behavior.
Thank you.
They are just ridiculous. But they're lovebirds. They're in love, right? Just and this is our Valentine's Day episode. So some people express love in different ways.
Right. Yeah. We really have to focus on the Steve and Michelle love for this episode.
This is the love. This is the love story we're really telling. Well, while David hides out in Mexico, Steve Chambers and his wife Michelle live it up with extravagant purchases and careless bank deposits. And as we mentioned, she forgot to remove the Loomis Fargo wrappers. So that's a pretty big clue, on top of all the other clues of everything else they're doing in their life right now. Even though Michelle tells the bank teller that $200,000 of Loomis Fargo wrapped cash in a briefcase is in no way suspicious, because that's what you do. You just tell someone, no, there's no crime happening here.
Nope.
Nope, nothing to see here. The teller fills out a report of suspicious activity anyway. Thank you, teller. Finally. Maybe we won't be getting away with this for much longer.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Kelly isn't as flashy as Steve and Michelle, but she also doesn't lay low. David's the only one following the plan. Right after the heist, she goes to her credit union and pays off her debt. Then she buys a new minivan and a mountain of toys for her kids, which is actually very sweet. You know, she talked before, like, she couldn't pay off her debt. She couldn't get name brand toys for her kids. I mean,
those splurges I definitely approve of. That makes more sense to me.
Right. This is a good purchase. Because in all the things we said about Steve and Michelle, I didn't hear one thing about their kids, did we?
No, I think they killed him.
They were in the other barrels. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't touch those barrels. It's just dog food. It's not money and children.
I mean, Kelly paying off her debt must feel so good. Buying a minivan that her kids could fit into, and then mounted a mountain of toys for her kids. Again, this is...
And not a barrel her kids can fit into.
Right. It's not laying low, but it's at least purchases I understand in the moment where it's so hard. You have that money, and these are things
practical things that she probably really needed, kind of, you know.
So we're painting Kelly as a great person. However, she actually has no intention of meeting David in Mexico. Poor David. Maybe this is not the love story we painted it to be, unfortunately. While his puppy dog loyalty and adoration did wonders for her ego, she isn't going to abandon her children. So she's a better mom than David was a dad. Plus, with David in Mexico, she can pull from his share of the heist. So also greedy. David's just getting screwed left and right. Kelly would have been fine if not for coworkers telling the FBI of her particularly close relationship with David. They questioned her a few times after Christmas, but she denies. She also refuses to take a polygraph, which maybe is a sign that she's lying. But however, the stress consumes her, gaining 30 pounds in just a few months. I also get that. 5 months pass, and David realizes that his $50,000 stash is looking a little low. Maybe he should have been indulging in a luxury hotel, lobster, scuba lessons, parasailing, and plenty of impulse shopping. So we lied. David is not laying low either. He is physically laying low in Mexico, but he is still making purchases. He's using those pesos.
I was imagining him just sitting at the edge of a bed in a crappy motel, but he's taking scuba lessons. What are you doing, man?
I guess he's bored, right? He's in Mexico. He's got nothing to do. He's just waiting for Kelly to come.
Yeah, and I wonder, like, how late, it's been. I wonder when he actually expected her. I bet he's going crazy. You know, every day, nothing.
I'm not sure if he knew, right? I mean, he hadn't bought a plane ticket. He seemed to find out that day that she wasn't coming with him, so she just wanted to lay low for a while and then come. So, I mean, yeah, I'm sure he keeps hoping it's tomorrow, but it's 5 months later and he's bored.
This would drive me crazy. I would once again, I would make a terrible criminal.
Yeah, well, this is proof that a lot of people will. And now he lives off candy, the mini bar, and the Burger King down the street. So, yes, luxury hotel. He's not getting his lobster at Burger King, I'll tell you that. Scuba lessons, but in many ways, he is living on the cheap. So not everything is a sign. Some tourists have already pointed out that he looks like the guy who robbed that bank, because this is like international news. So he doesn't look anyone in the eye. He reads, sits by the pool, and keeps to himself, and goes to Burger King. He can't risk returning to the States to pick up the cash himself, so he calls Steve for a wire transfer of $50,000 to hold him over until Kelly comes down. She hasn't talked to him since he arrived in Mexico. Oh, that's hard. But he's certain that's only to keep their cover. Right. Oh, man, he's so lonely down there.
Starting to feel bad.
Yeah. Steve agrees, but Steve isn't really going to share the loot. He has a McMansion to take care of and plastic surgeries to pay for. Does he ghost him? No. Steve wants to make sure David never bothers him again. He needs a hitman. The only obvious solution.
Yep. I mean, honestly, that checks out for me, Steve.
Yeah.
You seem like someone that would hire a hitman.
Steve loves playing the role of a bad guy, you know?
Right.
He thinks this is what you do. I'm hiring a hitman now. No snitching plus more money for Steve equals the perfect life. He eyes his cousin Nathan as the perfect man for the job. Don't know why. Nathan's girlfriend just had a baby and they really need the money, but doesn't mean you could kill someone. $1,000 should be tempting enough, but Nathan doesn't think he can up and kill a guy. Good for Nathan.
Thank you, Nathan.
Thank you, Nathan. We found a good guy. So we turn to ex-Marine and Steve's bodyguard, Mike McKinney. He is assigned to the task. Steve also needs more details on David's location for a clean hit, so he recruits Kelly. She's apprehensive at first, but Steve's promise of extra money gets her on board. Kelly is turning out not to be a great person either. Plus, the FBI is only looking for David. When he's out of the picture, they'll be home free. Kelly calls David and declares her undying love for him. 143, 143. She tells him she's finally coming to Mexico so they can be together. All she needs is his hotel and room number. And I guess David falls for it.
Yep.
He's, of course, ecstatic and tells her everything. Kelly does not book a flight to Mexico, but Mike McKinney sure does. He arrives in Mexico, introduces himself to David as Bruno, and he's here to deliver the money. David is disappointed that Kelly is not at his door, but he's happy to receive some money. Mike hands David $8,000, which is not what David wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, no Kelly, not the money he needed, and yet this guy, Bruno. Hi, Bruno. Seeing as Mark in person fills Mike with doubt, though. David seems like a nice guy, and his situation right now looks so pathetic and sad. Mike leaves Mexico and says someone else will have to do Steve's dirty work. The best people in the story are the supposed hitmen, Nathan and Mike. They're like, what? No, I can't do this.
Yeah, I mean, Steve's the one with the insane idea, but could not actually kill someone, so he's making his friends essentially do it, which they can't do it either.
No, Steve's too busy spending the money. He can't leave town to kill himself. No, do the killing himself, not kill himself.
Yeah.
That'd be a strange turn of events, too. A short while later, David gets another knock on the door. Is this the end? He meets a different kind of man with a license to kill. Here's the thing. Chambers isn't the only one listening on the other end when he makes his phone calls. When Michelle presented the big teller with $2,000 in a briefcase, the teller filed that suspicious activity report. It had the bands on it and everything. And now the FBI is more than eager to pick up the case. And we have an actual FBI photo of the investigation. This is Michelle in overalls walking to her convertible, nonchalant.
Looks very 90s. I love this photo.
Overalls and the long black turtleneck.
Yeah.
And with Steve's history of being an informant, they know plenty about him already, the FBI. Steve doesn't have the resume of a big-time bank robber, nor does he have any mob ties, so he was lying. They nailed him in the past for writing $30,000 in bad checks, and now he can buy a house mostly in cash, so no one is buying it.
Nope. In February 1998, the FBI easily obtains a warrant to wiretap Steve's phone and eagerly listens in for conversations about the stolen cash. And it's all Steve seems to talk about. He's calling about buying Rolexes, bragging about flashy jewelry, and discussing more plastic surgery. Hiring a hitman on your accomplice with his location, even better. On March 1st, 1998, the FBI goes to Mexico and picks up David. He deflates with relief and tells the agents, "I'm really glad to see you." Good for him.
He would have been happier to see Kelly, but I think this is a close second.
He's like, "This is great. I'm so bored.
Yeah.
I'd rather go to prison. Just
Please,
get me out of here.
Take me out of here." Yep.
I've already watched all of Blossom."
He's like, whoa, the FBI is here.
Whoa! They tell him about the recovered tapes and the third camera he forgot about altogether. Giving up the ghost, David tells them everything. He's also broken by the fact that Kelly was going to have him killed. He says, quote, "If you can believe this, I only kissed her once. It turns out to be a pretty expensive kiss, doesn't it?" The next day, FBI arrests Steve, Michelle, Kelly, and Mike. In the raids, authorities seize anything and everything that could have been purchased with the stolen cash. They also find cash all over their homes, stuffed in drawers, loose under the couch, thrown into shoeboxes. Some still have the Loomis wrapper. Come on, that should be the first thing you do. Agents...
They were so overly confident. Well, they were going to spend it soon, right? They were like, oh, we'll be spending all of this pretty soon.
Right. Agents spend 2 days counting all the money. I guess it makes sense that it took them 90 minutes to shove it all in there if it took them 2 days to count it. The mayor takes the Chambers dog to City Hall to keep it safe from the pound. The dog thanks her by peeing on her carpet.
So they did have a dog, at least. We have confirmed they actually did have a dog.
Did the dog eat the children?
The barrels were not full of dog food, but...
What? Did they have kids? Like, I don't even know. They're not, discussed at all. It's funny. What does Kelly have to say when she's arrested? She says, quote, "I should have gone down there to Mexico and done it myself." Okay.
Meaning killed David?
I think so, yeah.
Wow. I mean, that's a dumb thing to say. They knew that this was all happening. They were literally listening to the Chambers and knew that. So I don't think that was the right solution, Kelly. I don't think that's... Wow.
You shouldn't admit that. That's just more jail time, Kelly. Why are you admitting that?
Yeah.
Everyone in this story is dumb.
You kissed him once, Kelly. Didn't you love him? Didn't you love him, Kelly?
Kelly, it's Valentine's Day.
Didn't you think about Valentine's Day 2026 when you committed this crime in 1997? We were going to be telling your story one day. Come on.
Come on.
It's not the love story we had planned.
We're so mad. We should have read this story before.
Wait, what? They're not married and happily living happily ever after?
Okay. So, all in all, 20 people are arrested in total, including the Paynes, Steve Chambers' attorney, who helped him launder some of the money. 20 other people rally for Kelly, pooling their money so she gets a good attorney. She's my daughter, said her father. If I can just catch a big bass once in a while, I'll be happy.
Are those things
that
connected?
Seems unrelated, Kelly's father. You just want to
That's quote. Her dad was senile. He didn't know what he was talking about.
She's my daughter. I want to go fishing.
Meanwhile, fishing.
David is convicted and gets 7 years in prison. He's ordered to pay $26,000 in restitution. His wife divorces him a month into his sentence. Steve Chambers gets 11 years and $3.8 million in restitution, quite a lot more than $26,000.
Understandably.
Understandably. He gets extra time for all the money laundering and fraudulent activity. Mm-hmm. Michelle Chambers gets 7 years and $4.8 million in restitution. Bigger spender than Steve.
Well, you'll see in a second, right?
Yeah. Kelly gets 6 years and $4 million in restitution.
So if you add up the Chambers, it's, basically almost $8 million. So more than Michelle, not on it per rata.
Right, yeah.
Yes.
Mike gets 11 years for conspiracy to commit murder.
Is it weird that I feel bad for Mike?
I feel bad for Mike.
I know. He didn't. I guess he went down there with the intention, but conspiracy to commit murder, I guess, is just seen as a much more serious crime, understandably, than just robbing.
Yeah.
Yes.
$18 million in total restitution owed. As of 2022, less than 10% of it has been paid.
I read about that. That's insane to me that they basically don't have the money to pay it.
No.
It's
of course they don't. Yeah.
Steve and Michelle have spent so much already. And apparently this is just the norm. Like, it just doesn't get paid back. And after 20 years, they just give up trying to collect it, which is insane. So they're all free and clear at this point.
Yeah. We have a photo of Michelle and Kelly leaving the courthouse.
This picture is amazing.
I know. It's pretty funny. They look like they belong in a Wayne's World movie. In 1999, 5,000 people turn up for an auction organized by the FBI to bid on everything purchased with the money, including the BMW and the Velvet Elvis. Velvet Elvis. That's so fun for me to say. The auction makes back $360,000. Not that much.
Not nothing, but nothing compared to $17 million.
Yeah. David completes his sentence in November 2006 and gets a job in construction. He moves to Florida, marries again, and has a kid. David works as a consultant on a comedy about the heist called Mastermind, not to be confused with the 1997 hacking movie Masterminds with Patrick Stewart.
I added that, of course. That's my script edition.
Or the 2025 movie The Mastermind.
Oh, also true. Also about a robbery, right? With Josh O'Connor. Yeah, not to be confused with either of those.
There's this 2016 comedy starring Zach Galifianakis, Kristen Wiig, Owen Wilson, and Jason Sudeikis, and in which David attends the red carpet.
We have a picture of him holding 2 money bags, which are clearly just props, but I think it's just part of the joke, right?
I like it. I like this photo.
Have you seen the movie?
No.
I watched it. And did I watch it recently? What do you think?
Yes.
I watched it last night.
What'd you think?
Not good.
During this recording, I'm like, I should watch it. And then I'm like, I'll just watch Hot Rod for the first time instead.
Oh, Hot Rod. Oh, yeah. You should watch Hot Rod. Hot Rod's much better.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I can already tell you about dumb comedies that are worth watching.
I will say, this is a movie where, I like watching things in advance or rewatching it in advance of the episode. This is one where I was like, you know what? I could definitely do my laundry while I watch this. I'm not paying as much attention. I
like all those actors. I think they're really funny.
Oh, it's a great cast and a terrible script. Apparently, Danny McBride and Jody Hill did a version of the script, but I think it was thrown out. So they're listed as producers, and it's North Carolina, which is, their territory, but it's not their version. Jared Hess directed it, Napoleon Dynamite. Okay. I did laugh a few times.
Yeah, I would think that Zach is funny in everything he does, but he did make a bunch of pretty bad movies.
He's made bad things. In general, my thought process was my thought in the movie was there's very little funny dialogue. So it's just on them to do the silliest things possible to try to make a not funny script funny.
Okay.
So they get even more ridiculous and just feels desperate, despite having an amazing cast. I mean, Leslie Jones is also in it. It's a great cast.
Well, that would make for a bad movie. That makes sense.
Yeah.
If the script isn't funny, then it's not going to be funny.
Right. And they do, some of it is true. They keep the names, and some of it is accurate. And then at a certain point, it goes off the rails and becomes something different just to become a more entertaining movie. But no, I cannot recommend it.
And to close it out, David Gant, when asked if he would do it again, he says, yeah, an opportunity like that comes around once in a lifetime. An opportunity like what? To sit on a bed in Mexico and then get arrested and have to do 10 years? Like, what are you talking about, dude?
I did see he did was it an AMA on Reddit like a couple years ago? I saw that, and there he was quoted as showing more regret. Like, I was young, I was stupid. But he was very much just like, it is what it is. Like, I did it. I can't take it back. It was dumb. Not saying, oh, I'll never do it again. Just being like, of course I shouldn't have done it. So,
right.
But he seems to think he has a good life in Florida with his wife and kid. So that's where he is now. And he got to, be a consultant on the movie.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sure it's hard to see anything else. Yeah.
Yeah.
All in all, the FBI recovers 15 million of the 17 million stolen. And that means there's still 2 million unaccounted for. And that will do it for today's heist. I liked this one. I like the dumb ones.
Oh, they're so fun. It is true.
Yeah. I like all of the ones that remind me of the HBO show Florida Man.
Oh, I watched the first season. I have not watched the second season yet. A friend of mine's a producer on it. But yeah, this story may have taken place in North Carolina, but it does feel like a very Florida heist.
Yeah, when everyone just makes terrible decisions and... Yeah, exactly. Usually those kind of heists don't get on this show, so it's fun to go over this one.
Listeners, if you like this episode, check out our 3 Thieves and a Baby Shark episode, Miss Helen. That's another ridiculous stupidity kind of crime,
Yep, that's a good recommendation.
Yep.
All right, let's go to today's diamond rating. What are we thinking, Todd?
I think we're thinking very low.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything redeemable about this.
I mean, I'm going to go 1 star, which maybe that's not fair. $17 million, they did get it out of there, but it also feels like the easiest heist ever. Like, they leave him alone in the depot. No one else is around. He has all the keys. It's not a hard heist. And then everything after the heist is just completely terribly done. So, again, very entertaining, very fun. I love telling the story with you. I can see why it inspired a dumb comedy that it did, but it's 1 star. It is low. It is a low.
What would like a 0 star heist be? Like they'll go outside and then they explode. Like what would,
right? Like,
I'm trying to think. Yeah, the fact that they at least like made a bunch of purchases. They actually lived crazily. It doesn't make it a good heist. So yeah, when it comes down to it, like he didn't get the 3rd tape. It's just they immediately knew who did it. So I would say 1 or a half a diamond.
Yeah. He also barely made it to Mexico. He did make it to Mexico, so maybe we'll get maybe where the 1 star comes from. They got the money out.
He could get across the border. That's about it.
Yeah, and then everyone else just spent all the money without him, basically. Yeah. He's got a smile on his face today or a few years ago when he was on the red carpet. So, it's a life lived. It's not a boring life.
Yeah. I just wish he could have had some of the fun that Steve got to have,
Scuba diving. Come on, scuba lessons. He ate lobster.
Burger King.
He probably got the crown from Burger King after he ordered his Whopper. Come on, he lived it up.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, living like a kid, just like they were. They buy a bunch of candy. He eats Burger King every day.
Also, they were not experts. They were not consultants on the movie. So years later, he got to meet Galifianakis, Kristen Wiig.
It's all worth it.
It's all worth it. That's the reason to commit crimes.
Yeah. If you're going to commit a crime, folks, make sure it's a good screenplay.
Yeah, write the screenplay early. Write the screenplay before. And try to
That's an idea.
Craft
Writing
the crime.
A movie and then doing the movie in real life. And then so you can make the movie about what you did. That's interesting. You get arrested and you hand over the screenplay.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
5 stars on Letterboxd and 5 diamonds on Heist Club. That's what that would be.
Yeah. All right. See you guys next time. Thank you.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. And tune in next week for a real royal flush.
Heist Club is a production of School of Humans, hosted by me, Todd Weiser.
And me, Jesse Neismonger. I do all the fancy audio and music editing too.
This episode was researched and produced by Carolyn Talmadge. Our senior producer is Amelia Brock.
Our production manager is Daisy Church. Our executive producers are Virginia Prescott, Brandon Barr, and Elsie Crowley.
Join us again next week for Heist Club, and don't forget to rate and review. Thanks.